2 weeks later, we got our first patch for Bleach Rebirth of Souls. I kind of just want to go over what my thoughts are on the game so far. That's what this video is going to be. It's just me yapping for the most part, so if you want to throw me on in the background, that's totally up to you. Or if you want to watch, then I will have some gameplay later on in the video of when I was learning Ikaku. This is going to be mostly from a PvP perspective. I have not touched too much of the story. I'm gonna be honest, y'all. I'm not really too interested in the story in this game. I remember Bleach quite a bit from when I was younger, so I don't feel like I need the refresher, to be honest. And I don't really want to play Dangai Ichigo that much just because he's not Mugetsu. It's just Dangai Ichigo, and then he does Mugetsu when he does the final hit. But hey, bruh, that's neither here or there. We also got our first patch for the game. I think it was yesterday as well. Basically, they've removed the infinite loops inside the game, so characters like Byakuya, Ikaku, and Tear are no longer able to infinite shoot to death in the game. You can actually block on Wake Up Now, so you're actually able to play that game how it was originally intended. We don't necessarily, or I don't necessarily know what characters are super strong at the moment. I mean, they did buff Aizen, so Aizen seems pretty strong right now, but at the same time, now that we're able to actually play the game how it was intended to be played, we can now actually see what characters are really strong, what characters are may need a buff. They actually did buff some characters that they kind of, I guess, noticed in the JP community that were underperforming. So I guess that's why they may have buffed Aizen. I know they fixed some things with Shinsui, and they also fixed Tosin quite a bit. Tosin, if y'all didn't know before, Tosin was very bugged. If you hit, so normally the way his kit works, right, is that you want to do guard pressure, and then you force him to press, you do your tilt, his tilt steps back and then slashes, and then if you get a counter hit, you get a combo off the counter hit. The way Tosin worked before was Tosin would dash back, hit the counter hit, and still be in the end lag of the move, so he actually couldn't even combo after his tilt. But they fixed it so Tosin can now combo after his tilt. He can now combo into his SP2. Tosin's a lot more complete of a character, and they also fixed Shinsui some as well. So they fixed the game quite a bit, and I would expect another patch probably when we get our first DLC character. I'm hoping it's Unohana. I'm not gonna lie, I do need Unohana in the game. I am not gonna lie. I think it might be her. It could be her. Maybe. We'll see. To go over the story generally, from what I've played so far, I've played up to Ryu versus Mayuri. The story does a pretty good job of going into everything that happened in Bleach and covering it, but because it's visual, not necessarily visual novel style, but it's kind of cut animation with like the models in the game, you don't get the same feel that you would get from watching the anime, but you do get a good summary of the story overall and what happens in each arc of Bleach. Like, so if you haven't watched the anime, or you don't plan to watch the anime, you just want to play the game, you will get the Bleach story playing this game. Like, you will be able to completely understand the Bleach story from the Soul Society to the Arangar arc playing this game. And they legitimately have gone through everything that mostly happens inside the anime, and then they even have like the glossary, so if you're not familiar with the terms, you can actually look up the terms and kind of understand as you're going along. I think that's like the main thing they set up very perfectly. Like, this game is a great introduction for you to get into Bleach and go straight into the 1,000-Year Blood War. But on to like the game itself, like, I think the strongest part of this game is the presentation. Like, the UI, the character select screen, the music, the stages, like the overall graphics of the game, especially on PC. The game on PC looks way better than it does on PlayStation. Like, the overall game's presentation is a 10 out of 10 for me. Like, this game cooked with the presentation. The OST in this game, top notch. Like, the OST in this, like, there's so many bangers in this game. You got One Shot, Midnight Strategy, you got Urahara's theme, you got Shinji's theme, you got Sazalaporo's theme, you got Yoruichi's theme, Soifan's theme. There's so many themes at this game that just go hard. Bankai Ichigo's theme, Ichigo Shikai's theme, Ugetsu's theme. They cooked with the presentation of this game. There are some things though that I personally want to be upgraded or changed inside the game. And I think based on like the presentation of this game, like, I have full faith that they're going to definitely upgrade and update the game over time. And this game is definitely going to get better over time. 2 weeks in, we got a big balance patch that actually fixed a lot of the issues. So I think that they are genuinely trying to keep this game alive. Like, they've put a lot as well into each character outside of just the presentation. Like, each character actually feels tremendously unique. Some not so much more than the others. Like there's some characters that were clearly felt a little bit unfinished. Like what I was talking about with Tosin earlier, and like how his bugs didn't allow him to actually play his game. But the rest of the cast that was actually performing how they were expected to perform, they all played extremely different. Like you're not gonna play Tyr the same way you play Kaku. You're not gonna play Soifan the same way you play Yoriichi. You're not gonna play Ichigo Shikai the same way you play Bankai Ichigo. You're not gonna play Dangai Ichigo the same way you play Uryu. You're not gonna play Uryu the same way you play Stark. Like every character feels extremely different. And then as you play the character more and learn their frame data, you get to see that each character is genuinely a unique character. Like a lot of the things that work on one character is not gonna work on the next character. And then as you get deeper into the game and start playing with the mind games, stuff like, there's definitely a lot to enjoy about this game. And there's definitely a lot that you can enjoy about this game. But there are some things that can definitely be fixed about the game. Two things off the top of my mind that I want to go over really quick. What I really want them to fix is the way that grabs work inside the game. So like currently grabs teleport. Like you don't necessarily have to be in front of somebody to actually get a grab. You can kind of, depending on a character's light range, like the range of their light, it seems to be that's their grab range. And I very much want them to change that and make it so that you have to be in front of somebody to grab them and you can't just teleport grab. I also want them to allow us to dash out of sidestep a lot more fluidly on some characters. There's some characters that have some end lag in their sidesteps or in their back steps. Like for example, Aizen and Yamamoto, they have like some end lag. Well, not necessarily Yamamoto, more Aizen. He has some end lag when he does his back step. Like I would want it to be, there's other characters as well, but those two have like the longest that you can feel if you just like pick them up and start playing them originally. But if you play a lot of characters inside the game, like I play Soifan, which has like some of the fastest steps inside the game, and then I play a character like Ikaku, for example, and he has like some delay on his steps that doesn't allow you to dash directly out of it. I would want the game to be a little bit more fluid in that department, which allows you to kind of move a little bit more freely along the 3D axis. Like I can do a sidestep dash and then back step. And you can do that on some characters like Tyr, for example. She has very, very good movement with her steps. Chad has very, very good movement with his steps. Toshiro has very, very good movement with his steps. You can do stuff like that on those characters, but I want them to make it more universal along the whole cast. And I think that would do a very good service in making the game a lot more fluid and a lot more aggressive as well. But besides those two issues, and it's not even really issues, they're more just like pet peeves of mine with like the way that the game works, to be honest. There's nothing really necessarily wrong with it. You just know that like a character has a certain range of their light. That same range of their light is probably going to be where they can get a grab from. And you just play around that, to be honest. And it's not necessarily inconsistent either. Like it's not like one moment you're going to get a teleport grab and the next moment you don't get a teleport grab. It's always going to be a teleport grab within that certain range of the character's light. So it's very, very consistent. It's not nothing that's inconsistent, something that can get you mad. It just looks a little off when you're spacing someone out and then they just teleport grab to you and you have to tech. I would like it to be a little bit more closer, if that makes sense. I do also think that one place that the game could potentially fall short in is the combos being so short and being so simple. I think if they do expand on the combo potential with a lot of the characters, that would actually do the game a favor in the long run. Because as the game gets older and older, I feel like it would get boring kind of doing the same spacing and setups and stuff like that we're currently doing at the moment. That's like my main worry with the game's longevity, is that as time goes on, if they don't expand on the combo potential of all the characters, every character just kind of end up feeling old, and then the only thing that's really keeping us coming back is the DLC characters, which I mean that's usually how it is for most anime games. But because this game fundamentally is so solid, I would like them to do the same thing that Tekken kind of does, and kind of give new characters new routes or give characters new moves and stuff like that, just to keep the game fresh. But we'll see how that goes. As it stands at the moment, that is my main concern with the longevity of the game, is that as time goes on, maybe like a month or 3 months down the line, the game just ends up becoming stale due to like the cutscenes and the combos not necessarily being too crazy or too hard to pull off, or even too difficult to do. Now, I think the main thing that really holds me back from being able to wholeheartedly recommend the game is the fact that we're just missing some basic features like rank and spectator mode. And they did say that rank is something that they're looking at adding inside the future, but it's something that they're looking at adding, not something that they're guaranteed to add. And because that is the case, that kind of leaves me a little bit on the cautious side of recommending the game to everybody. Now, there is a community rank that Q made in his server, where you're able to queue up for games and find people to play with that way. But that's a community rank that he's made himself. That's not necessarily the game's rank system. It's on its own. So that's something that the community made for the game, but not necessarily part of the game. And because that is the case, this game it's hard for me to kind of recommend it because it is missing those key features that would keep people playing the game even after they finish the story and learn their characters in free match and room match. If they do add rank and modes like spectator mode, then I definitely will come back and revisit this and definitely let you guys know how the game has changed. I will also be keeping up with the DLC because the DLC characters are characters that I'm very interested in, especially Unohana, who's reported to be in the game. We'll see. Again, we'll see if she's in the game, but I definitely want to play Unohana for sure. And I definitely want to see if they're going to add characters like Bosby and Hashwolf in the future. So, but I definitely want to see where the game goes in the future and what they do in terms of adding those longevity modes like rank. And also want to see how their implementation of rank would be if they do add rank into the game. Because they seem to have everything Bleach themed, so I want to see what their like Bleach themed take on rank would be. That kind of would be interesting, I'm not gonna lie. As always, thank y'all for watching. Let me know in the comments what you guys' take on Bleach Rebirth of Souls is, if you have the game already. If you don't have the game or you didn't get the game, let me know in the comments why you didn't get the game, or if you're interested in getting the game. Be easy, be safe, y'all, and I'll catch you on the next video.